I see you covered. Do you catch backlash being a Muslima and publicly smoking that marijuana?
They a hypocrite for pointing out your sins. What?
So you proudly embraced bringing the two worlds together.
How could he be the most forgiving if I didn't need forgiving? Who is perfect? The fact that you judging me, like, you're not perfect. What?
Tell me, what's the biggest misconception people have about weed?
Well, this is old, but it's THC percentage.
Okay.
THC percentage, a lot of people think like that's the only thing that really matters, but it's not.
How is it that this is happening? We got so many people that's in jail for cannabis. How come we don't have these access to these industries? And every story y'all telling is just y'all two. It's y'all the only nigga there.
Cause it's a population thing. We only 13% of the population. They don't care.
Okay.
So no, it's the
no. Look at the jail, nigga. If it's a population thing, why ain't more crackers in jail?
It's an unequal application of the law. That's exactly what it is.
So how do we change that? There's people watching that say, well, shit, they look like me. How do I get in the industry? DC, what up? Northeast, what up? East Coast, what up? We international, Ryan. DC, what up? PG, what up? East Coast, what up? We international, Ryan. Shit, all the way all over the world, they listening to us. I always try to struggle where I'm gonna say, what area I'm gonna say. But right now, let's just say all over DC, they listening to us. Hell of a show for y'all today. You know, when we first started with the Hot Door, so many people was like, man, damn, you know, what y'all on there just talking shit, y'all just smoking weed. We do a little bit of that too, but this is what it's all about. This episode right here is what it's all about. I got two of the young African-American entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs in the cannabis industry. That's what this shit is all about, man. Elevated thought, elevated conversation, but also smoking some good weed. So this episode, unlike the other episodes, is sponsored by a few special guys. First, before I introduce my guests, gotta get into my sponsors. We smoking the Float and Funnel, man. That's the Float and Funnel. Hit them up on Instagram at the Green Circle. You can find it's infused funnel. We're gonna see how that hit on a little later on. Of course, the cannabis for today's episode being supplied by Mr. Roblato's Cannabis Boutique Cannabis Shop. Listen, premium, we're going to get into all of that, break down the different types and really get behind the biology and the science of cannabis, because it's not just, you know, some shit not no more. You just meet somebody in the dog alleyway, get a little 3-5 or something for 50. Them was the good days. And then we got some new shit going on in a whole new market right here in D.C. And wherever you listening to it or looking at this from, I guarantee you your city or your town got some cannabis things coming in the laws if it hasn't already. Things are changing in 2023 and going forward. We're going to talk about that. And also, shout out to my guy, Dope TV, man. These hoodies, they been really lacing us with some... Do niggas still say lace? I know it's 2020. I don't know. And I don't know if I'm not from New York. We never said lace in D.C. in my life. I don't even know why I just said they lacing us, like lacing us with the fat tracks. I don't know what world I'm in. I don't even know. But I just want to show my man some love. You know, sometimes you want to show people love. You don't know what to say. But shout out to my man, Dope TV. Hell of a designer. These one-on-one hoodies they've been gifting us and showing love to us with. Really been popping off. Y'all been talking about them on the comments. Hit me up in the DMs. Hit them up. Dope TV X Designer Huff. Order your hoodies. Order your merchandise. Get your stuff, man. But first, now that that's out the way, now I don't even want to waste no more time. This is a different type of show. Y'all heard mukbangs where everybody's sitting and eating and this and that. Well, we're gonna try a couple of this premium cannabis from our esteemed sponsor. But before that, we want to introduce him, man. First, Rob, from Mr. Roblato.
Roblato.
Jesus Christ. You know, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, usually I smoke heavy before, you know, throughout the day. This time I said, let me hold up. You know, because listen, everybody know, you know that, first of all, for real smokers, you know, we smoke before we eat. We smoke before we anything.
On the drive.
Yeah, we smoke before we eat, after we eat. Oh, damn, I got a 20-minute drive. Got to roll up. This is what we do. How you feeling, Art?
I mean, I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here. Happy to share this with y'all. Happy to let people see, you know, what I got, what I'm working with, you know.
Man, this is incredible, man. You got, first, before, I want to talk to you about how you got in the industry and all of that. But first, I just want to, man, The presentation is incredible.
I appreciate it.
Right, you got Instagram going crazy. I see people say, man, what the fuck weed is this? What type of weed is this? Right now, you see all sorts of things. You hear people talk about, and you know, I'm Muslim, man, so you always hear about these different conspiracies, right, to emasculate men and this and that using the marijuana.
Right.
So tell me about how your weed is grown that separates it from maybe that shit that people spraying on and add a little this and that. Tell me the difference between your weed, because it's boutique cannabis. I want to make sure they know it's boutique cannabis.
Boutique cannabis.
Tell me about what separates your cannabis from what's out there on the market.
Well, mostly out here, like in the DMV, like the I-71 shops and stuff. Most of them shops, you know, they doing with re-rock. They're dealing with Cali packs that then came over, you know, cheap weed for nothing.
My bad. Don't please pause.
Oh, okay.
Cam, Mace, don't kill me. All right, go ahead.
They're doing, you know, they get the packs for the low, you know, sell them. It's good business.
Yeah.
In that procedure, though, you know, those packs probably a couple years old, maybe. They might get sprayed because of lack of terp. You know, somebody might go ahead and spray stuff on there. There's a brand that's really popular right now that actually, like, even claims, we spray terps.
Yeah.
You know, in New York, it's sprinkles, but, you know.
Wait. Weed loses its potency, its power after time?
Yeah, through time, it's like food. Weed's like food. It degrades. Most people like to say weed's like the liquor industry, but I would say it's more like the food industry because liquor gets better over time.
Weed doesn't.
It has a time as you cure to get better, but then after a certain point, it begins to degrade because it's too hard to really store it the way it is.
So somebody might sell you a pack that they done had been sitting on, and it lost some of its potency a little.
Oh yeah, potency, flavor, like the way it feels, it'll be dry, break down the crust.
But okay, I knew that it might dry out, but does that affect that affects how you hit and all of that?
It affects the way the J will be rolled, which then it affects the airflow, which affects the taste, which affects the whole experience. So fresh weed, you know, is always better. Okay,
so they talking about spraying terps. Break that down for people who don't know. Because a lot of times people, like I say, a lot of people that smoke weed, they just know they weed, man. They don't know what terps are. They don't know all of this new shit is new for a lot of people. Y'all, like I said, y'all at the forefront of this. Y'all, a lot of people, when they see this, they will be like, what is he? A lot of people that watch our show, they like to roll up one, and they like to smoke with us and watch the show. They're going to say, what the hell is a terp? Talk about that. Explain it to them.
A terp is a terpene. It's where you get your flavors from in the weed.
Okay.
And, you know, there was a time where people just looked at, like, THC percentage.
Right.
And, like, we just want high THC percentage. But also, there's more, like, in your senses. This is your senses.
Yeah.
Smell invokes memory.
Okay.
You know, like if you smell something, you're like, oh, I remember that smell. I remember.
Take you right back to a place.
Exactly. So when you're smoking weed, the aroma and the taste and the smells should also invoke a feeling to you. So I always say you can have really high THC weed, but if it's bland and flavorless, it's nothing. Like, I don't even want to smoke it. It's cool. It's going to get me high, but all weed gets you high a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Some should give you a headache.
Yeah, that's it. Stay away from that.
Man, to the left of you, first, before I say anything else, I got to say DC rap legend, DMV rap legend, right? We see a lot of these artists getting a lot of shine, a lot of pub, a lot of publicity, a lot of whatever. Cool. Everybody get their chance in the light. We had our U Street days, our this and that. We was basically DC artists. You got to know, a lot of y'all don't really realize that it was people that came and was setting the groundwork for what's happening right now in the day. A lot of times, just like in Palestine, you look up and you see people think, oh, it just happened today. No, this been years in the making. There would have been no Shy Glizzy, no Fat Tro, this and that, if it wasn't that U Street scene that you were an active participant in. If it wasn't for these open mics, these showcases that really was a chance for young black artists right here to have our own renaissance like in Harlem back in the day, right? Tell me a little bit, but before I do that, because I do want to know about that, but I want to give you your flowers real quick, so to speak, right? The owner of Ebony Green, Green Life Learning Center. I like this one, Charcuterie 420 events. Now y'all do the food, the whole ambient, the whole thing, right? Tell me about, first, I want you to take us to that DC rap scene when it was cultivating what it was, right? And then if you can, tell me about how you transitioned from that to being a huge advocate for the cannabis industry right here in DC.
I mean, you know, it's J Mills. It's the real J Mills. It's have you had your J today? It's past the J, and it's been that since I started doing my music publicly in 2005. Long before weed was legal, it was past the J.
Yes.
Long before there was a title of being a weed advocate, it was have you had your J today? You know, I was never hiding that, and I've always kind of built community and done events with the smokers in mind, successful stoners. Climbing up through music, I mean, 2012, things were really great. I was in Ebony Magazine. I was about to do an international tour, and then I was pregnant.
Dang.
And
okay, I didn't mean to say damn like it was a bad thing. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Kevin Hart just now. Go
I know, damn.
Damn, you had a baby.
But damn, it's right. I had to cancel my Tokyo and Paris things, and I mean, I had just gotten this video shot by Cool Kids and Six Shooter. I mean, shout outs to DJ 6 Sense also.
Ain't no question. Nah, it's all family, it's all love, man. All y'all niggas got 6 Shooter.
Nah, 6 Shooter is one of the most amazing cinematographers I've ever seen for music videos. It's on some movie level framing. Anyway, so yes, I'm on a baby break, minding my business, when a friend of mine calls and she's like, girl, why are they having a whole weed conference in DC right now? This nonprofit that I'm working for, it was for safe access, that's Americans for Safe Access, ASA.
What's that?
That's the organization that she worked with. Their headquarters is here in DC, and they were advocating for safe access to drugs.
Okay.
Wow.
I like it.
Now we've started our own advocacies for
nice
cannabis and whatnot. But at that time, that was just like outside of my mind. So I go to this conference where there are thousands of people there, but I can count on my hands how many of us are black. And I'm like, dang, this is a conference for people who want safe access to weed, and niggas ain't here. And it's in DC.
Yeah.
It was at the Mayflower Hotel.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, what? We right by the White House. These crackers is out here with pounds.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Piece.
Weed was not legal yet. This is 2013. So I met this guy. He introduced himself as a weed scientist. I'm like, okay. And he's like, I don't want to be racist or anything, but perchance, would you happen to know where I can procure weed?
Look like you know. Something about your skin tone. With a weed.
I'm like, happens to be.
Yeah,
you're right. I actually do. As a matter of fact, I got
well,
that.
You know.
So I pull out my tree and he's looking. He's like, this is from California. I'm like, yeah, and he's like, nah, but this is fresh.
Right.
Like, I'm like, well, yeah, I go to the farms.
I'd have thought he was the FBI immediately. Hold on.
Get out.
What you talking about? This is fresh. What you talking about? Hold on. Get my bag back.
He said he was a weed scientist.
Okay, so, I got the scientist. I'm running.
It tracks. So, long story short, he was the owner of a cultivation center, and he was so impressed by the quality of my cannabis, the fact that I was going out and bringing it back and doing it right, and he was like, you want to manage
limitations now.
You want to manage my cultivation center. I'm like, what?
Yeah, nice.
But I don't even know how to grow.
Yeah. He said, don't worry, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And learning on the job was me and my melanin around those plants.
Yeah.
For long amounts of time.
Yeah.
The plants talk to you. I really feel like if you just spend time with nature, it's a unspoken understanding that books, years of studies can't give you, you know? So
it's a life source. I mean, these are plants, these are flowers, right? Every week we do a section called Moment of Silence. Before we go any further, let me do a moment of silence. One of my mentees, one of my kids, one of my artists was shot up over the week fighting for his life. And besides just him, all the young artists in D.C., and anywhere really, but D.C. specifically, who didn't get a chance to just do this for the love of it like we did, right? Now, in order to pop, you got to kill somebody. And not just anybody. We used to at least collab about it. When I was young, I probably killed like 20 people. I don't even know who these niggas are, right? But every, songs, oh, yeah, if you run up on me, I'll shoot you. We could at least get away with that. Now, these kids got to have an actual murder attached to it. It got to mean something for their numbers and views to go up. They don't know that one hand really watching the other. Meanwhile, somebody getting rich off this, and they dying. or they going to jail, right? We got several rap groups or artists that was really popular here that's dying or go to jail, and they falling off by the second, right? My kid ain't no anomaly. This shit happening every day. DC, Philly, LA, Miami, everywhere you go, everybody dying for fame. So to them, moment of silence. All right, let me ask y'all a real question. We talked about it a little bit earlier, right? We talking about the emasculation of men. We talking about how the weed got, you know, some people putting things in it that's affecting people, not just men, but women as well, different ways. What y'all feel about these youngers now that it's legal? The youngest smoking weed like cigarettes, and they not smoking a little bit. They smoking big fat blunts with a lot of fun and all this shit in it. You think this is affecting a little bit what's going? I mean, their mind's not developed yet. It's kind of a byproduct. Like cigarettes is legal, alcohol is legal. So I was drinking liquor when I was 15. I was selling cigarettes on the track at school when I was 14, and smoking them too. Niggas see you smoking a cigarette, they be like, "You got one? Cool, give me $1." I didn't even smoke cigarettes. I just smoked them so you come buy a cigarette from me. But it was legal. And now we seeing that with weed being legal, the same thing. These youngins is getting to it. Do you think it's affecting them in a negative way, having so much consumption to the marijuana?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, like, you know, you should be a kid smoking weed. Like, you know, I mean, it's just like any.
When you start smoking weed, nigga?
For real, I ain't started smoking weed probably till like 16, just 16, 17.
You a kid?
Yeah, nah, but I mean, it wasn't good.
Okay.
It wasn't good. Like, you know, I feel like, I mean, just like anything, you know, there's warning labels for age-specific things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't feel like you should. You know, you shouldn't be smoking that young, like, especially if you're trying to do something with your life.
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to play sports or, you know, stuff like that, you should be focusing. Like, weed's a good relaxant, but also it blocks out some things that maybe you need to be feeling to get to the place you're trying to go.
When you talking about, like, when you're young, too, you don't know how to really...
Young. Yeah, you don't really know how. You might really fall into that weed coma, you know, you right, really fall into that I'm high, I'm blazing all the time, and then, you know, you can't really... How you affording that?
But what I'm noticing, too, and Jay, tell me what you think. Like, I'm noticing, right? There's a thing that's going on, right? As weed started to be legal everywhere, right? Now, all of a sudden, I'm seeing advertising about what I feel like coming from Big Pharma, vilifying weed. Oh, weed is unhealthy. 3-4 ways the weed will kill you. Hold on. Now the weed might come in comparison to your Oxycontin. Now the weed might come up against your perks. Now all of a sudden, weed is the enemy, not the opioids that done killed millions of people. Not the fentanyl, not the opioid, but it's the weed. What you think about that?
I think it's actually deeper than that, especially when we're talking about children.
Break it down.
Because the overarching conversation that you have to have at the same time is mental health. And when they are so in a rush to medicate our black children at rates that are just exponential compared to other races, you are so quick to put a kid on Ritalin. What if there's a weed for that?
Yeah.
Something that's actually far more healthy, something that doesn't have all of these horrible side effects that you can actually stop without. Some of these pharmaceuticals for mental health are like, you cannot stop.
Yeah.
You have to take such a long time to wean off. They have all these crazy withdrawal symptoms. So to understand, first ask the question, are our children going through traumatic events?
No question.
Could they be dealing with PTSD? Could they have anxiety? Could they be suffering from depression? Is this self-medication? And are they educated about what they're doing or not?
Yeah.
So looking at it through that lens, now it's a different conversation that you have to have. Because, wow, yay, they have access to weed. Instead of popping pills or, you know, doing fentanyl or drinking. The drinking is going down while the weed use is coming up. So is tobacco use going down while the weed use is coming up. So it's like, when you realize that these are people who are trying to self-medicate, you know, where are you in the headspace when you're 12 years old and you want to smoke? Something ain't right. What happened to you? What took your childhood? At 10, they got you out here trying to smoke and eat edible. Like,
I started when I was 11.
It's not about the weed. We're going to talk about the weed and not the mind.
I started when I was 11, but I also had mental health issues.
I started young. I had mental health issues. I'm trying to find, like,
and honestly,
we got to have that conversation. They got that.
Yeah, and honestly, I think I don't, this is going to be fucked up to say. I don't know. It's like, which one is worse? I almost would rather a kid smoke a blunt at 15 and him go drink a fifth of tequila at 15.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But speaking of what you just said, you just gave me a perfect segue, right? Speaking about them different weeds and types, you got a couple different strains right here on the table, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Break some of this shit down because, a lot, like she just said, a lot of times, what if there is a weed for that? Okay. And we was talking off camera about the effects positive that marijuana has on the mental, like if you suffer from PTSD, depression, these different things. Is it a weed for that? Like, what are the different weeds? You got a couple different jokes right here. Break it down to us a little bit. We're gonna try some of them out, right?
Yeah.
You tell us what. Okay, you tell us what we're gonna try out. What or just tell us what the different types are, what the effects are, and we'll figure out what we try from there.
Okay, cool. So I would say, what's this one? This is Candy Panties.
Okay.
Candy Panties, it's actually my best-selling strain. It's more of a party fun strain. You know, this is for fun. This is to go out, have a good time.
You got smoke with everybody. You want
you want to impress. Yeah, you want to pass it to you like, oh, this tastes good. Like, you know, yeah.
Take that 500 bag shit.
And almost I'd say that it's a natural aphrodisiac. Almost. I've seen success with it. Yeah, you know, this one right here. For sure.
Studies have shown.
Studies have shown. Oh, you said you the tester, huh?
This one is Roblato.
Okay.
Roblato is a Gary Payton and Gelato 41 cross. You know.
33 and 40.
Yeah.
Hello.
And yeah.
Hello.
You know, so Roblato is a very, very, very sedative, heavy strain, and it has a good punch to it. You know. I would recommend this to smoke at night. You know, if you want to go to sleep.
Long day.
Yeah, long day. You want to relax, unwind quick. You know, just pass out. I go with the Roblato. This one right here. This is one of my favorites. This is mint jelly. It's jealousy times Kush Mint's number 11. This is more of a sativa leaning. It's more energetic. I give this to my like creatives that want to smoke. This is like they want to smoke this. They're like, hey, I don't want to be sleepy when I'm working. I want to work. I want to be able to be high though.
I'm up 2 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. So they would smoke this.
Okay,
more or less. And then my favorite is the black. I smoke the black every day. The black is like I would say it's like for my mental health. You know, it keeps me real even keeled. It's kind of sedative. It just keeps me like, you know, like I'm not worried about much. I can focus. Black. You know, the black. Yeah.
So how did you get into growing these different strains? How did you get to when you talked about the Candy Panties, right? That's the name of it, right? I don't get it.
Candy Panties.
You created that strain?
I did a pheno hunt where I popped seeds.
What is that?
Okay, a pheno.
Because we throw seeds away, nigga. Hope nobody smelled it in the circle and shit real quick.
Save the seeds.
Roll the window down.
If it's good weed, save the seeds and give them to me.
We think if it's good weed, ain't no seeds supposed to be in that motherfucker.
It's not.
We calling the plug immediately. What's this bullshit you
But
sold?
you could get lucky, right? So most great strains that you find come from bag seeds.
Okay.
That's a thing in the grower community, a bag seed, like a seed out of a good pack. So say you got a good pack, you got it in, man, you find, oh shit, there's a seed in there. It's one seed, man. It's a plant, gotta grow.
It gotta grow, yeah.
You know? So you keep that seed, because most of the time that seed is probably across from something that maybe hermed in the room.
Yeah.
So it'll be close to whatever that weed is. It's gonna be close to that. You know, so it's always a good little, you know, it's a good little thing to have.
So did you have prior experience? I mean, this is not some shit that niggas coming from the DMV just automatically know how to do.
Nah, no prior experience.
So you just found some seeds? Okay.
So, all right, so the growth story, you want me to start the long story?
Whatever story you want to tell us, I want to hear it.
Y'all want to start smoking first? This is
boom. So boom. Before we do that, it's a smoking moment. You said, let's start with the Candy Panties. Let's start with the I love candy. Well, let me stop.
Which one is this one?
I don't need no Puff Daddy moments, and we're going to get into that later. Ain't no Me Too going on. Did the law pass already? Talking about Candy Panties. They're going to say, we canceling this.
What are you talking about?
Candy Panties.
It's right here.
Ashtray right there, sis.
So, but the Candy Panties, you know, it's actually my top selling strain.
Okay.
It's in a couple shops around here. The Stoner's Table in Baltimore. And it's in Wizard Smoke Boutique in DC. And the City Experience Smoke Boutique in DC.
In my house after this.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so give me that story. Give me the smoking story. Pass me the lighter.
Oh, so my growing story. Okay. So, you know, when I was young, probably like, you know, 18, 19, I went to college. Didn't do too long. Came back and then got into sending packs from Cali, young. before it was cool. You know, I'm 35, right?
Yeah, okay.
And when I was 19, you know, that's like 2007, 2008. So
you've been getting the money a long time, Slam. Okay.
It's a good story. It's a good story. Yeah. So.
Ooh, I ain't even sparky ass man.
So, long story short, through my ups and downs of, you know, selling this, doing that, I got hooked on. I used to be the Molly man. Okay. I used to sell a little blow here and there.
Yeah.
I got addicted to the clubs. Got addicted to the fun. You know, just
different life.
Selling a lot, doing a lot, making money, but not really saving enough. You know, just doing.
Yeah.
So then, long story short, that ran for like 12 years until I was like 30, right? And then I had like a really, really, really bad moment, right? So, I was at my man's house and I was off the Xans and the blow, right? And then I passed out, fell asleep. And I was drinking too, fell asleep. He put a bag of shrooms on the table.
Stop it.
Before I fell asleep, I ordered Mexican food. Mexican food came, was a bag of shrooms. I mean, a bag of shrooms in a paper bag and a bag of chips in a paper bag with some queso next to it, right? Mm-hmm. I eat 21 grams of shrooms, dipping it in the quesos off the Xans and don't even know I do it.
Oh, wow.
Don't even know I do it. Don't even know.
Did you meet God?
Nigga, how are you alive?
Look. Wake up out of my Xan stupor. My man's like, what's wrong? They say I'm acting crazy. This had to go in the house, start cooking. Yeah. And mind you, he's a fortunate guy. He has a guest house at his parents' house. So we were in the guest house. I go into the main house and start cooking at like 12 o'clock at night. Start making stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, just being crazy. Long story short, 48 hours goes by of me being crazy, right? My mother calls me, tells me, your friends are telling me that you're being crazy. I need to check on you. You need to come down here and see me. My parents have retired from here. They're from here. I mean, my mom's from New York. My dad's from D.C. They live in Upper Marlboro. They retired to somewhere deep in Virginia called Smith Mountain Lake.
Okay.
And when they went down there, you know, they left me up here for real. So I get down there. I go check in with mom. I get there. And mind you, I've never grown weed, nothing in my whole life. Nothing. Right. Never touched a plant. No, nothing. I get there, and my dad's like 80. So his weed man passed away because, you know, that's what happens, I guess, when you're 80, your weed man die. Yeah,
so limited options.
Yeah, right? So I get there. He has these plants. They're little. They're not doing too good. I tell him, Dad, that's not how we do it. We got to do it this way. Like, we got to look on YouTube, figure it out. And then I stayed there with my parents probably for like 6 months and learned how to grow weed. Left, went back out into the world for a little bit. COVID happened.
Oh, my God.
I went back home to their house just to sit out COVID with them and help them because they old. Traded stocks, made a little bag, invested in myself.
Oh, man.
Kept growing weed the whole time. Yeah. Perfected that weed shit in that year. When everybody else was out in the world having fun, PPP boys, EDD boys.
You was locked in.
I was locked in. And right now when I see all the PPP boys and EDD boys, it's broke time. I'm like, oh, should have been invested in yourself.
Hell yeah.
Instead of buying Cardis and Rolex.
Yeah, all that stupid shit.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's the story for us. Like, I went on like a hero's journey, they call it. I was completely lost in my life.
Yeah.
And then I got them shrooms, went off that trip. I ain't never done drugs since. And I've been growing, and my life's been lit ever since. Yeah. I found my calling, I feel like.
I can't wait to grow weed with my son. Smoke weed with him, do something with the weed with him. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, my dad's I'm his favorite person in the world.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm his favorite person.
I can imagine it. Hey, Jay, talk to me about a little bit. I want you to go back to that music shit a little bit. Talk to me a little bit about how you even got into music, right? Because we know you from Pastor J. We know you from the marijuana now. But like you say, it all started with the music. So I like to say about my own shit, it all connects. My music, the show, it all connects. It's all kind of consistent, right? Tell me a little bit about how you got into the music scene. You always was on some rap shit, or did you have like family members that was rapping? Tell me a little, because DC was not a rap city.
Funny enough, shroom.
God damn. I love shrooms. I had some good shrooms this weekend. Some going teachers.
I was, I've been a poet since I decided to write the rhymes that I always did when I was a kid. My first poetry book was when I was 9.
Shit.
And every year I would it was like a journal, but within my journal, I was compelled to narrate my life in rhyme. Yeah. I don't know if I was like a bard in a past life that was just like, let me sing you the songs of my people. But it was just poetry to me though, because it didn't have a hook. It was just stories in my life that happened to rhyme, but I had a cadence to it.
Yeah.
So one time off a shroom trip, tripping with my friend who happened to be a DJ.
Yeah.
And he was playing these random jazz cuts, but it's like the shit that every hip hop song was like sampled from. He was playing all the original ones and some other funky stuff. And this one song came on, Winter Sadness. And I'm
Who that's
off
by?
Shrooms. That's by Kool and the Gang.
Okay.
Who also did Summer Madness. So Winter Sadness starts playing, and as it's playing, it felt like I don't know, the shrooms just aligned something in my brain, and it was like, you have a poem for this music.
Yeah.
And I just started spitting it.
Right there.
And it happened to be called Winter Sadness. It was an ode to the summertime, about how much I hate the winter. And it went perfectly. I was like, oh my God, what? I should put my poems to music.
Caught the bug right there.
And yeah, I just was flowing for that trip, and I never stopped. I shared it with other people. Like, do you like this poem over music?
Is it the recording you like more, or was it the performing that you like? Because you do these performances, you got such a powerful presence, and your presence kind of demand that respect, right? As soon as you walk in the door, before you say a word, but especially when you go on the stage, as an artist, what was you drawn to more? Was it the recording process? You talk about this, taking them shrooms and smoking and hearing that music and putting that poetry to it. That's one thing, but getting on stage and engaging with the people, that's a totally other monster.
I love the stage.
Yeah. Okay.
I love just sharing my art with people. It's not that I love the crowd. It's just that intimate, because it started with poetry in a room with a few people. That's all I need.
But okay, so let me ask you this then. What do you still doing the music, but you've definitely dedicated more time to this cannabis industry. Like we talked about the Green Life Learning Center. We talk about these different companies you got. So you've clearly been invested in this industry and being not just an advocate, but an entrepreneur, right? Trailblazing. Are you saying, yeah, I'm gonna do music like 50 Cent say, I do music when I want to, but I'm gonna create these hit shows? Have you leaned more towards the cannabis industry and said I'll do music in my own time, or tell me about that?
Yeah, going into the cannabis industry from the beginning, like when I got that job, I was the first Black woman to have it. So there was history that came with it. I didn't know when I got it that was what it would be. But afterwards, that's what got me on the cover of the magazines and the newspapers and all of that for doing that. And from there, it was just another legendary job. Now I'm managing a dispensary. Now I'm the event coordinator for a national cannabis event company.
Nice.
But through it all, it kind of went back to the basics because once again, life happens and I'm writing. But now I'm writing for me. But when I share everything that I've written now, post baby, is like, it's the best I've ever written. It's coming from a different place because I don't know. I'm thankful for this compulsion to tell these stories and to just be a vessel for something that people can come together. Yes,
vessel for God. Let's keep it 1,000. It's God work. Let me ask you. Okay, boom. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question here, ass nigga.
It's an interview.
No question. We have a good time. But look, I want to know, right? I see you cover. Do you catch backlash being a Muslima and publicly smoking that marijuana?
Selfish plug for my book.
Hello.
It's medication.
Woo. Talk about it.
And alhamdulillah, yo, this Ramadan was the first time I took a break from cannabis since I was pregnant. Yeah. And before that, I started smoking at 14. So no breaks.
Yeah. No breaks.
Ever.
All gas.
All gas, no breaks. And since coming back to smoking, I don't even smoke the same.
Hey, what y'all? Let's check in. What y'all feel about this candy patties? God damn, it's some good weed. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, what you say, B? Spanking me, nigga. pizzols.
Yeah, I hit it like a cigar.
Yeah, real smooth, right? Real clean smoke. That's what I'm noticing about it, though. It's a real clean smoke. Like, it's not, I don't gotta keep lighting the blunt.
You can
like, it's, this motherfucker, like you said, like a cigar.
Yeah.
Like a cigar.
Because it's so smooth, you don't realize what's happening until it's happening.
Oh, it's happening. Hey, Rob, tell me, what's the biggest misconception people have about weed?
That one right now that's hot is this isn't hot, this is old, but it's THC percentage.
Okay.
THC percentage, a lot of people think like that's the only thing that really matters. But it's not, That's one. And another one is that it's easy to grow.
Okay.
That's like a misconception that I get a lot. Like a lot of people like think that they can do it and they don't know. They don't even know what they're signing up for. Like
just some lights and
they think they
soil.
Yeah, they think they just gonna grow some plants, but what you really is you got kids now.
Yeah.
Ooh, you got kids.
You want children?
Yeah.
You can't go on vacation.
Yeah, that's damn.
You gotta feed your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go nowhere for too long.
Yeah.
Go check on the kids.
Has it been tough for you as a black man to be an entrepreneur in the cannabis industry?
Yes, it started off pretty rough.
How so?
Shit. Well, my first situation that I had, it came to an end by 12. My first situation, whatever.
Yeah.
That was hard because it was every dollar I had put into it. That was the first thing right out of COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
My first joint out of COVID, boom. You feel me?
Damn, to the loss.
And then I had to regroup. I lost. That was everything. I put everything into that because that was going to be it. But then it took me a whole year, not even a year, probably like 6 months to battle back, get back on my feet. And then after that, it's been smooth sailing because the product helps me. Like the fact that the fact that I can grow really top shelf weed makes it so that I'll always be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good weed.
I can do this anywhere. I could put a light up in here and do this.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Well, shit, let's talk about it. We could do some business. That shit legal now. Because now everybody is doing it. Everybody's, like you say, trying to have this cannabis industry shit, trying to get in, it's dispensaries everywhere. It's all this shit. And like we were saying earlier, now people don't have to, run and go meet somebody in a dark alleyway no more.
For sure.
Now people don't have to, do all this weird shit that they used to have to do. Now they can just go to a dispensary. Now they can just go to anywhere and, get that weed without feeling unsafe or unsure. That's important. That's extremely important. But before we go, I do want to go back to us talking about the backlash. Have you gotten any backlash? Let's talk about her. Jay.
Not much.
Because I mean to cut you off, but I've gotten backlash. Oh, you on there talking about Allah this and Allah that, but you smoking all this weed. I'm a hypocrite. Oh, you're a hypocrite. You're this, you're that.
They a hypocrite for pointing out your sins. What?
So you proudly embraced bringing the two worlds together.
How could he be the most forgiving if I didn't need forgiving? Who is perfect? The fact that you judging me, like, you're not perfect. What?
But is weed like an imperfection? Can you hit the door, somebody? Is weed? Do you look at weed like it's an imperfection? Like you said, it is medicine.
I do feel like it's medicine.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I sprinkled a little bit of tobacco in that. That's not medicine. You know?
Yeah, but we fast from that. Like, so Ramadan, yeah.
I'm cognizant of the point where I have over-consumed.
Okay.
And make a point not to cross that. In the past, before Ramadan, I never really thought about how you can over smoke. I would have been like, nah, you got weak lungs. Fuck you talking about? Roll that shit up again. Like,
right.
What? I smoke on my way to smoke.
Yeah.
I smoke on my way to get weed where I smoke, and then I smoke again on my way back home from smoking.
Right.
Like, I can relate to that. And being in touch with my mental health and just, again, smoking a lot less.
Yeah.
And realizing when I'm having this anxiety or having this creative block or feeling really depressed and having the ability to be able to pick the right flowers that are going to do the right thing at the right time. So,
being an entrepreneur, that don't bring more stress for you?
definitely.
Both of y'all can speak on it.
No, for sure. Yeah,
In what ways?
Stressful. Man.
It's not guaranteed.
Yeah,
I got all the weed in the world. Y'all still stressed out? What's going on?
Nah, man. I got to grow. Each one of these batches got to go right. They can go wrong. I just burnt out 2 rooms. So, look, I break it down quick. Each room, I get between 10 and 12. You feel me? That's what
That's beautiful.
That's how, but fuck up and don't get it on 2 of them.
Yeah.
You feel me? So now you out 20.
Yeah, now you take a
And
loss.
The bills are still coming in. You feel me? I still used all the electricity and all the nutrients and all the soil and shit. So that's just a full loss right there. You gotta take that, but then you guys still pay them bills.
Yeah.
You feel me? But once you get through that, I just went through that and I got through it. And you feel me? And it made me a better businessman.
Packs get lost in the mail.
How did you get into? Before we go on, let's try the next strain. What's the next strain? Talk to me.
The next strain is the black. That's my. That's the black. Roblato black. It's gelato time. Gelato 33 times runts.
Okay, and what type of effect does this have?
Well, it's gonna be pretty sedative. Pretty
okay.
indica, heavy indica for sure. Yeah, heavy indica.
That's good. I like some laid back shit.
And it's gonna. And
I was playing Luther Vandross and they was clowning me earlier. I like the laid back shit. I don't want to listen to Migos all night. Okay, this is the black.
Yeah, it's gonna be more citrusy.
Okay.
To say you gotta do the dry pull to really.
Gotta do the dry pull. All right.
It's too late now.
It's definitely too late. I fucked up. How did you get into these cannabis? What they call it, the Olympics? How did you get into these cannabis cup jumps?
The Olympics, I was in that last year. I made it to the 3rd round. That was the first event I ever did. That's the only one I've ever done for real. The only competition I've ever been in. It's like it's the biggest one. It's the one that matters. You know, that's the only thing I want to be in.
Pause. Go ahead. It's the biggest one. It's crazy. That's the clip right there. It's the biggest one.
Yeah, but it's a national cup. There's one in Michigan. There's one in Cali, and there's one in New York. I was in the New York jump. I didn't place, but I met a lot of other growers there that they had a lot of game. They've been in, but what I noticed was first I was the only black guy. You know, that's one thing in this, right? They ain't everybody else that do this is white.
That's a repeated theme that y'all see.
Yeah, everybody in weed's white. Yeah, for sure.
But I don't understand this. So cool, boom. I caught a charge 2014, right? Right. Part of it was wholesaling marijuana,
Right.
In my work release, I was selling cannabis dog shampoo at PetSmart. I mean, what the fuck is going? Hold on, I'm in jail because of this shit.
Yeah.
Then I'm in work release doing cannabis shampoos.
Yeah, for sure.
With the same shit they just got me in on an indictment with. How is it that this is happening? We got so many people that's in jail for cannabis. How come we don't have these access to these industries? And every story y'all telling is just y'all two. It's y'all the only nigga there.
Cause it's a population thing. We only 13% of the population. They don't care.
Okay.
So no, it's the
no. Look at the jail, nigga. If it's a population thing, why ain't more crackers in jail?
It's an unequal application of the law. That's exactly what it is.
So how do we change that? It's people watching and say, well, shit, they look like me. How do I get in the industry? How do I do this? How do we change that?
That's one of the hardest things that I have in giving people advice under Ebony Green. That's what we're doing. We help people get their licenses. I'm all for us seizing the example in every legal way that we can.
Right.
But it's just unfair. Like, where you have in the grower space all of these white growers who were growing underground, but their names are known, and it's like they're allowed to exist. And now they have these huge names, and it's commended. You know, they got TV shows, strain hunters, showing them going overseas and internationally transporting cannabis genetics, and you documenting this shit and get a show for this shit, and you have a whole seed company, and it's okay for them. While at the same exact time,
Lil JoJo getting life.
Period.
Lil JoJo got
you got influencers who have hundreds of thousands of people who will follow and watching them use cannabis, judge cannabis, but people of color, pages getting shut down, deleted. It's point blank, period, the unequal application of the law, as it even is still federally illegal. Oh, but if you pay this amount of money to these people, then you can sell weed.
Yeah.
But because you did, like, it's a mind fuck. It's wrong as hell. But when you really understand certain things that we are due because this was a war, they use that language. They called this a war on drugs. Okay, drugs won. So what about those criminals of war?
Okay.
In historic precedents, you owe the fuck out of those fucking prisoners of war that were illegally incarcerated.
Nah, facts.
Like, what? War's over, right? So what if the people that were harmed by the war?
So how do we get those reparations? How do we get? We can't make up for lost times. It is what it is. Conversations when you talking about Ebony Green, when you talking about things that y'all doing. I know you looking for interns too for Mr. Roblato.
Yeah, interns. Yeah.
How do we do this? How do we fuck what somebody gonna give us? How do we build a table and bring our people and more our people to this table? Tell them how they can sign up for your internship. Tell them how they can sign up for your class. Because I want people to walk away from this saying, damn, they got some good weed, but also saying, damn, I can reach out to them and they can teach me how to build my business. So I don't gotta sell on the corner and get locked up for some petty shit. I can do this the right way and make generational wealth for my family.
No, for sure. Well, on top of the internship program that I got, I also teach free grow classes to the community.
Shit.
You feel me? For our people. You know, anybody can come, you feel me? But people who show up is our people. And I love that. And I love to be able to teach them what I know. It's knowledge. I learned it for free on YouTube.
Right.
That's how I learned how to grow. Okay. And then trial and error. You feel me?
Yeah.
There's no reason I can't give that information away to my people to help and better somebody to be another me.
Yeah.
And then all my interns, I bring them into my situation and I try to let them know everything that I know.
Yeah.
I got one that's been with me for 6 months and he knows everything I know. He could go start his own weed company today. Yeah. And he'd be fine. Growing it, marketing, everything. Branding, the whole nine. Yeah. You feel me? One of my other interns in here right now, you feel me? By the time he's like a month in, by the time 6 months is in, you feel me? He's going to know how to do the exact same amount. And then when they get out, I want them to do each one teach 10.
Nice.
Teach 20. Teach 30. Like, you know, you feel me? I don't get paid for that grow class. That's just to help the community. Knowledge, that's how you help them. Empower them. You feel me? Yeah, for sure. You can RSVP for the grow class through Stomach Stable.
What you was about to say, Jay?
Oh, I guess I would say understand the cannabis supply chain. Truly understand your place in it, how to capitalize from it, all the different levels of interacting. Everybody's not a grower. Everybody's not a farmer. I love to show people the marks I still have on my hand, the blisters from when I was growing at this point 10 years ago. This is hard work. You're farming.
Explain that supply chain. Break it down to them like they 3-year-olds. What does that mean?
The example I love to use is tomatoes. Coincidentally, growing them is very similar to cannabis in terms of what you need to do to grow large tomatoes, how you got to trellis it, and the time, the veg, the flower, whatever. Who makes money in this? Is it the person who's growing the tomatoes? No, it's not the farmers. It's not the one. Is it the one who owns the farm? Nah. Is it the one who owns the grocery store? Where you can buy these tomatoes? All right, how much money are they making in the supply chain? What about RPM?
Okay.
What about an Italian restaurant?
Okay.
How much money are they making with these tomatoes? What about Prego?
Yeah. Okay.
Ragu.
Okay.
Diced tomatoes, fire roasted tomatoes. We selling who's making the most money in the supply chain? What about Rachel Ray, Barefoot Contessa? What about people on YouTube who is just cooking and showing you how to do these different things? This is what I mean by the supply chain. Somebody is making the jars that keeps your tomatoes the freshest. Somebody is making these labels for all these different companies that want to sell tomatoes all of a sudden.
Right.
Somebody is everything that you need. Somebody is making all of this stuff. Somebody is making soil that's the best soil for growing the tomatoes in.
I'm with you.
Somebody's making the trellises that you need to grow the tomatoes on. You have to really look at that. And then again, just because, are you a chef? Are you a farmer? Are you this? Where do you lie in this supply chain? If you're not the one that's growing it, but you know how to tell everybody where the tomatoes is at, you know how to pick a good restaurant. Maybe you know how to market these tomatoes. Maybe you know people who want to buy tomatoes and you happen to know who has the good ones to sell.
Yeah.
Where do you fit? So now you do distribution.
Let me ask you real quick. I mean to cut you off. What effect do you think that the legalization of cannabis had to what's going on in D.C. right now, if any? You're talking about more murders than we've seen in 20 years. Fresh out of COVID. right? In a vacuum, the money disappears. Niggas is getting all this money every month. Out of nowhere, the money gone, right? Now, we used to always go sell a couple pounds to get a couple dollars. Now you ain't getting shit. Everybody fighting for the same $15 profit. Now, I could be wrong as shit. This could have nothing to do with it. But do you think it's any connection?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it if you can. This is my last question for the night. I know we had shit.
I mean, I feel like the same ones that would have been on the block are the ones that's out here stealing cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, survival.
That crime just went in a different direction.
Can't sell weed, so you steal cars to sell the car or to rob niggas in the car. Or, you
just desperation.
It's desperation. What if I can't sell weed? When I was that age, I was selling weed, and then I jumped off the porch and did some more shit.
Yeah.
But you feel me? If it's just if the first option is I really gotta jump all the way off the porch, a lot of people ain't gonna choose that. They're gonna choose I'm gonna take something from somebody that's lesser. Cause
a lot of niggas was legalization, that's tight. But the niggas in the hood is not happy about that shit. Cause now they gotta sell their KDs for $20 or some shit like that. Like shit affected niggas.
But one thing I always say is like you can't fight the tide. Like the tide, the game changed. The game changed. It's not going back.
That's
all right.
A fact.
So at the point of this is whoever your big man is
that's
around your way needs to get him an I-71, get him a little shop, and put the young niggas in there working and get it done the right way.
Yeah.
That's the game now.
Yeah.
Like if your big homie ain't doing that for you, you need to do it yourself.
Yeah, get another big homie.
Yeah, for real. Cause he don't need you out there. Like you feel me? It's just there's a way to do it, and you can get a job and you can get paychecks and it'll be legit.
Fact.
Yeah.
Look, man, before we close out, I want y'all to give them y'all high thought for the episode. Tell them how they can find you, how they can link up with you, how they can work with you, whatever y'all got going on. I just want you to plug y'all shit real quick before we roll out.
I'm Mr. Roblato. You can find me on IG at Mr. Roblato. I do consulting services for anybody that's trying to do grows, anything like that. I got flour in DC and Baltimore in the dispensaries and the shops, Stoner's Table in Baltimore, and Wizard's Boutique and the Green Sunday delivery service. I'm on that too. If you trying to try the flour, they got the candy panties in the black, the mint jelly, the glove lotto. It's dropping like this week. Yeah, man. Just holler at me. Anybody want to learn anything?
Some great weed. Classes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, man. You can holler at me. I'm cool. Like on Instagram, as long as you ain't asking me for no dumb price, you feel me? We gonna have a good conversation. But yeah, you can just holler at me if you need anything. I'm here.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's what's up, Bob. Come on, J Mills.
Yep. It's your girl J Mills. Nice. You can find me at The Real J Mills on everything because it's The Real J Mills on Instagram. It's The Real J Mills on Twitter. It's The Real J Mills on Facebook. It's The Real J Mills on YouTube. Also, if you're looking to get your license, talking about going from legacy to license, legacy to legal, figure out how to get money right now while the cage is gone. And these opportunities will not last for long. This is the beginning of a new industry. There's enough cake for everybody to eat. Let's get it.
High thoughts. Hey, first, thank y'all for coming out. Amazing show. I feel like I learned so much about weed. I've been smoking weed since I'm 11 years old. I don't know nothing about weed based on this conversation, but I just want to thank y'all for coming out and taking y'all time. Look. Follow Floyd World, the High Thoughts Podcast, all that shit, right? Look, subscribe, all that, whatever, retweet. Create your own lane, right? We done waiting for a nigga to pull out a chair and sit us at his table. Build your own table and have your man, your family, come sit at the table. Teach them how to build their table. I like what you said, not one man teach 10, and then 20. That's how we really gonna eat. The game changed, the game rigged. All that, you can sell all the weed you want right now, 500, you're going to end up shooting each other to death because that shit ain't making no money. Y'all niggas is broke. Like he say, let's figure out the right way to do it. Get that I-71, LLC, non-profit, whatever you got to do. Let's legitimize this shit. We ain't saying you got to go do some shit you never learned. Do what you been doing. It's legal now. They done convinced you we was fucked up for years. Oh, you wrong if you hustling. That's bullshit. Now there's ways to do it legally and legit. Figure out how you hit them up. Send them DMs, all that shit. Same way when we talking about some messy shit up here, y'all in the DMs in the comments. Well, they gonna show you how to start your business, how to change your life. Hit them up. Fuck with them and get high while you do it. Each and every week, D Floyd, 118. High Thoughts. Salute.
buck it up, bud. Go. Yeah. That 2007 shit got me in my bag. Never been a nigga this good for this long. Only seen a nigga this good on this song. Shit, don't get me wrong, I see they on some different other shit. Money say I'm Democrat, my hustle say Republican. Know some ghetto bitches, pussy hit just like you want it slim. Got some bougie bitches that's gon' lick it till you come again. Shit, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing, bitch. Do your thing, do your thing, do your thing, bitch. Do your thing, do your thing, do your thing, bitch. Do your thing, do your thing, do your thing, slim. These hoes fuck with me for my pimpin'. I had pounds and keys in my kitchen. You can have whatever you want if you like. You ain't never fucked with a thug, then you mine. Gnarly do, I pump that Bob Marley fool all day like them Rastafaris do. Thinking how to get paid, I need Ferraris too.